gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. You're right if you have an assault weapon. The fact of the matter is they should be illegal, period.
Why? Why? Have you ever really unpacked it? Have you ever thought about why Democrats are so anti you having guns? I mean, it gets uncomfortable, but that's what we do on this show, right? We talk about uncomfortable things and uncomfortable truths. Now we're about to get uncomfortable. You ready for this? It's creepy because when you actually dig into it, as I've always told you, Democrats want to take your gun because Democrats want the freedom to hurt you if you don't comply. There's no other explanation. There's not one. And this is where we make the mistake on the right. And I've made this mistake 1,000 times too. I'm sure you have. And I'll even bring up some crime numbers and things later on in a minute so you can have some ammo to shoot down your crazy liberal cousin on Facebook or whatever. But you and I will say things like, well, what? Oh, they shouldn't want to take guns. The cities where the guns are banned or where all the violent crime is, the guns don't cause violent crime. And we bring up stats and things like that. Like I said, I'll give you some here in a minute. But when we do that, we're also missing the point. They know. They know. They're well aware that all the violent crime in this country takes place in cities where the guns are banned. They know that. They know there's never been a mass shooting at a gun show. Well, why not? If the guns are the problem, have you ever been to a gun show? I've been to a million. There are guns laying around everywhere. Everyone's wearing one. Everyone's selling one. Everyone's buying one. There's just nothing but guns. You can't walk 2 feet without running into one. But there's never been a mass shooting there. Why? Well, because guns are the problem. And you know that's the same thing we've talked about 1,000 times. But the thing is, that argument doesn't shoot down anything for Democrats because, again, they know. They know guns aren't the problem. They think you're the problem. And that can be hard for us to accept about our fellow citizens, right? Joe Biden, the people around Joe Biden, they don't lay awake at night thinking to themselves, what can we do to stop China? Hey, we should contain Iran. What can we do there? They don't think like that. They sit around at night, cocktail, friends over, and they think about how to stop you. That's the truth. And that can be that's a bitter pill to swallow, isn't it? And look, you don't have to take my word for it. Joe Biden, because he's half brain dead, he came out and said why they want to disarm you.
The Second Amendment, from the day it was passed, limited the type of people who could own a gun and what type of weapon you could own. You couldn't buy a cannon. Those who say the blood of patriots, you know, and all the stuff about how we're going to have to move against the government. Well, the tree of liberty is not water with the blood of patriots. What's happened is that there never been, if you want to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons.
I'm sorry? Did the President of the United States of America just issue a threat to the American people? You're not powerful enough to take on the government. You'd need an F-15 and some nukes, because that's what we have. You better mind your P's and Q's. They come out and say it. They're very honest about it. So let's you and I resolve ourselves that from now on, we're going to understand why Democrats want to take guns. It's not because of crime. It's not because of the latest mass shooting they pretend to care about for 15 minutes. Democrats want to take your guns because Democrats want the freedom to hurt you if you don't comply. But, you know, we can point out the stats. You know what the crime numbers are? Here's some crime numbers for you. In Portland, homicides are up 533%. 533%. I'm not saying that wrong. That's a real number, okay? Shootings up 126%. In New York, shootings are up 64%. In Atlanta, shootings and homicides are both up over 40%. By the way, we're going to have Sheriff Clark on later on in the show to talk about exactly why this is happening. And look, Joe Biden, I've told you before what I think. I think it's very embarrassing to have the President of the United States of America be a half-functioning adult. I've said it a million times. I want President Kamala Harris. I know you throw things at the TV when I say that. I understand she's obviously the Antichrist, but at least she's a functioning adult. Joe Biden is not. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you and I should be grateful to have Joe Biden there because he's now non-functional enough to come out and say things like, well, we have nukes and F-15s. He's non-functional enough that he's being awfully honest. Well, I mean, when he can complete sentences.
Police Chief Murray of the Police Chief Murphy, Paul of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It means confirming my outstanding nominee to lead the the ATF.
I'm not trying to be nitpicky. I'm not just trying to make fun of the guy. The President of the United States of America, he has to be able to talk. He just does. It's a job that involves talking. Whether you're talking to a camera or a reporter or giving a big speech somewhere or meeting another foreign leader, the President of the United States of America, he has to be able to talk. A quarterback in the NFL, he has to be able to throw. He just does. That's part of the job. Our president can't talk. We can't go on like this. We cannot go on having a half-functional man. But, like I said, we are getting the benefit of him being really honest about what he believes.